one of us will. Thanks, Paige. All right.
Recording in progress.
Hey, what is this?
Requesting everyone to put themselves on mute, please.
Coming up short, giving up never. Weave it together. Come along, come along. Come along, come along. Mending it together. A world on fire can't last forever. We're gonna mend it together. A stitch in time is gonna save nine. A stitch in time is gonna save nine. And I wanna be a catalyst for change. Trying something different. I wanna change the rules of the game. 'Cause even the smallest bird can
Paige, I think we
fly
are
up.
good to start now.
Great.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the Catalyzing Change Week 2023. I am Divya, your host from Adhyan Foundation. Requesting all of you who have joined already to please rename yourself with your name and your organization's name. And yeah, we'll be starting in another minute. For now, I'll request Paige to play the short video about Catalyst 2023. 2020, sorry.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week. This year's Catalyzing Change Week is about solutions from the front lines by social innovators.
In 2022, Catalyst 2030 concentrated its efforts on bringing proximate leaders and frontline solutions to the forefront. Collaborations led by members from the Global South produced groundbreaking reports on climate and transforming education, with an emphasis on offering local solutions. We continued our mission to create an enabling environment for social entrepreneurs to flourish by initiating a letter to donors, signed by more than 1,200 social entrepreneurs and innovators. The Catalyst 2030 awards ceremony was spectacular, and the awards themselves welcomed by the private sector, governments, multilaterals and donors.
Catalyst 2030 as a movement is disruptive.
One of the best things I think that's come out of Catalyst 2030 so far is incredible collaboration across the ecosystem that just didn't exist before Catalyst came into being.
The thing I love most about Catalyst is that it's an open movement for social entrepreneurs around the world.
I'd encourage anyone who's looking to be more connected with their local communities around social development goals to come along to Catalyzing Change Week.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week.
Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share about our work with our audience today. We can now start with our session, inviting Bhavna from Adhyan Foundations to start us off. Over to you, Bhavna.
Thank you, Divya. Hello and welcome everyone. I am Bhavna, and with me I have my colleague Surekha. So we are your host for next hour. So we work with Adhyan Quality Education Foundation and are joining you from Goa. So first of all, we want to thank CCW 2030 for providing us a forum where we can have this session and engage audience all over the world. So before starting out, let's set agreement for the day to make our session fruitful for everyone. So firstly, we request everyone from the audience to keep themselves muted through the session to avoid background disturbance. Also, those who can, switch off their video, it would be great. Also, if you have any question or comment, you could put them in the chat box or raise your hand, as we would encourage the conversation to be interactive. You also freely use the reaction button below throughout the session to share how you're feeling as our speakers are, sharing their thoughts with all of us. And also we have a dedicated Q&A time at the end of this session where your question will be discussed. So as we all are excited to hear our speakers, so I will share with you that our today's topic is about how the school complex take roots to enable systemic change in Goa's education landscape. So to begin with, let us introduce to you our speaker. We have 6 speakers with us who are going to share their experiences, success stories, and motivation with all of us. So I would like to invite Surekha to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Bhavna. Good afternoon to everyone. To begin with, I would like to introduce Ms. Maria Miranda. With 35 years of teaching experience, Ms. Miranda is the headmistress of Government High School Morpilla, KPM. She specializes in teaching students from local indigenous community who are first generation school goers and achieved 100% SSC results for 7 consecutive years. She has been also recognized with State Award in the year 2020 and National Award in year 2022. She attended Pariksha Pe Charcha in 23, and Ms. Miranda is also a mental health leader. Next, we have Ms. Anna Grecardisa, who holds a master degree in economics and a degree in education. She began her career as a teacher grade 1 in 1989 and since worked in various capacities in the education sector, including teaching economics in UAE. She is currently the headmistress of Government High School Dadachivadi Pernem in Goa. She has achieved 100% SSC result for 5 consecutive years, received Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar awards. We also have with us Ms. Valsala Vishwambaran, who is highly qualified, experienced individual in the field of science, education, psychology, counseling, and stress management. She has around 24 years of experience, and she is currently working as an ADI for Marmukwa Taluka in for past 5 years. Another area we have Ms. Gayatri V. Naik. She holds a BSc MA B.Ed degree with 25 years of experience in education. She has worked as an assistant teacher, middle school headmistress, and grade 1 teacher, and currently is an ADI for KPM Taluka, with additional experience of deputy conductor, examiner, moderator, and a presiding officer for elections. We also have with us 2 state leaders. Dr. Uday Gaonkar is a Deputy Director of Education Academic, and he is a multi-talented individual with diverse accomplishments. He has completed courses in horticulture, agriculture, crafting. He has been recognized and awarded for his work in education, social action, journalism, and art and culture. Dr. Gaonkar is published author, accomplished artist, musician, researcher who is represented State of Goa at national and international events. We have also with us Ms. Sindhu Prabhu Desai Naik. She is an Assistant Director of Education Academic and Principal at District Institute of Education Training in Goa. She is a national awardee and state awardee. She is a gold medalist and in a chemistry subject in Goa University. With over 15 years of experience in education, she has worked as a teacher, curriculum developer, and carried out extensive research in this field. She has also received numerous awards, felicitations, her contribution to education, and presented papers at national conferences. Yes, thank you.
So, before starting with our today's topic, let us consider the context of the topic. So, as we all know that all state in India follows the primary, middle, and high school structure of government school, which are often separated from each other, as you can see in the picture 1, which is depicted in picture 1. And the National Education Policy 2020 proposed the creation of a school complexes to provide better education to students. So what is a school complexes? School complexes are the cluster of schools which include primary, middle, high, and higher secondary schools that work together to promote collaboration and sharing of resources. As you can see, this is depicted in the second picture. So the goal of school complexes is to improve the quality of education and provide better access to educational resources for all students. So a similar structure was created in Goa in 2018 and named as a hub structure. Each hub comprised one high school and 6 primary and middle schools who are usually feeder to each other, where the hub leader is usually the head HM of high school, and these hub leaders are tasked with guiding primary and middle schools in their improvement journey. Yes, Sureka?
Yes, since today's topic of discussion is school complexes or the hub structure, which we called in Goa, which can be a key enabling driver for school improvement. So let's start with today's session with an interactive understanding more about hub structure. And as the CCWs in sessions are interactive, let's engage this session with everyone. So I will share a scenario with you all. Divya, requesting you to share the screen. I also will be sharing the Mentimeter link in the chat box, requesting you to open that link and respond. The scenario goes like this. In government schools, children are often moving from primary schools to middle school and secondary schools to complete their education. Whereas in private schools, they have an opportunity to complete their schooling from one composite school only, from primary to grade 12. It may be secondary sometimes. So the question is, what do you see an advantage of studying in a composite school? So we have already pasted the link in the chat. You have to click on the link. If they ask you for the code, you can click on the code is also mentioned. Aniket, can you please give the code as well? Mostly it will directly open. Please click on the link and respond to this question. What do you see in advantages of studying in a composite school? What do you think? Any questions, any difficulty in opening the link? Let us know. Divya, can you share the screen of the results? We have already coming up the responses. Divya, can you share the screen?
Yes, just a moment.
Yes. So we have already responses coming up. Some are saying consistency. Some are saying higher and easier resource sharing. That is very good. Some are saying students are confident of making friends. That is very important. Also, some are saying consistency in quality of education. Confidence has been repetitive. All-round development of child. Another minute or a half a minute to share your responses. We have just received 9 responses out of 40 speakers, 40 rooms. Quickly. Can someone please reshare the link? Freda is asking. We have just 10 responses, few more responses. Familiar with teachers, the environment, peer learning happens and continues satisfactorily. Growth is holistic. Nice. interesting. A lot of advantages we can see about the composite school. Just 2 more responses, like quickly. You can fill up your responses. It will be collated with us. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your responses.
So we received the multiple responses from audience side. So now we have learned a little more about hubs. Our first two speakers are high school heads and hub leaders, and they will share their journey of leading school improvement through the hub or school complexes. So I'm inviting Miss Anna ma'am and Miss Maria ma'am to share their journey. To give you a little context, Anna ma'am oversees 6 primary school in her hub, and Maria ma'am oversees around 4 school in her hub. So Anna ma'am and Maria ma'am, can you please share the story with us where you use the hub structure to drive improvement in your hub, and the step you took for it, and what kind of outcome you achieved out of it? Yes, ma'am.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Yes, yeah. Good evening to all. Hub system has helped the hub schools in a positive way to bring about a quality of education. In fact, I would say that hub initiative should be attainable and based on clear vision. So in our hub school, we had one common vision, and that was to prepare our students to be lifetime learners and not mere school time learners. Various strategies and steps were taken through hub meetings, support visits, and interaction with students, parents, and community. And I'm just speaking about 3 main steps taken and their outcomes. First of all, high quality early learning. We need to have our education at the primary level strong. Strong foundation is the need of the hour. So what we decided was to know where the schools are at the moment, where we want to go, what we want to achieve within a specific period of time. So various best practices were discussed, like involving everybody, using different classroom transactions, be it group work, peer mentorship, maximum student talk time and minimum teacher talk time, continuously diagnosing children's strengths and weaknesses, also trying to look into the physical and emotional safety of child, and not forgetting children with special needs. Now, what was the outcome of this? The outcome was that the hub schools, which were meant for collaborative growth, actually became hubs of learning. And the success stories influenced hub schools not only to adapt, but sometimes to replicate these best practices. The second strategy that we took was resource sharing. We decided to share instructional strategies as well as assessment procedures. So starting from preparation of lesson plans, worksheets, test papers, digital resources, teaching learning materials using local resources, also policies, safety policies, be it physical or emotional. Now, what was the outcome? Outcome of this was it benefited all the hub schools, especially the schools with single teachers. Students started making use of new resources. Teachers started adopting new teaching, learning, interaction strategies in classroom. In all, I would say that classroom situation, classroom transaction became more enjoyable and innovative, and students were in fact looking forward to attend the classes. The third strategy and step that we took was maximum stakeholders engagement. The real education or school transformation is because of a strong, authentic community connections and action. So we took the assistance of high school teachers acting as resource persons in the field of maths, English, science, ICT, music, and sports. We also took the assistance of local artisans so that they could share their experience, their skills, and time. Like the Read Aloud program that we have, the volunteers are our ex-students, our parents, retired teachers, retired heads. So enrichment activities were conducted for our students, and the outcome was it helped to connect the co-curriculum beyond the classrooms. Students became to score better in academics as well as in co-curricular activities. The community members itself were happy because they were a part of the school enrichment activities or school enrichment program. So in all, I would say we made the maximum and efficient use of resources available. And I would say that if we take all these steps, we will surely be raising our schools to a place which suits the 21st century learners. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your responses and strategies with us. Can Maria ma'am also respond on the same question?
Yes. Good evening. I would agree with Anna madam. She has shared most of the things, but I would say, like, the change that came after once this hub leaders came into pictures, or the hub formation came into picture, was first and foremost, we could share our resources. Earlier, it was like each school doing the things, but it was not going beyond that school. It was remaining in the four walls of the school. But with the formation of the hub structure, I would say that even the smallest things like preparing teaching aids have reached the next level. Now we are preparing teaching aids. Each school is preparing teaching aids. All my hub schools are preparing teaching aids. In fact, it involves not only the teachers now, it involves the students. With the help of the students, with the help of the parents, we are preparing teaching aids, and the best teaching aids are shared by all the schools in the hub. This makes it very suitable. Okay, it simplifies the learning process. The teaching aids are very simple, accurate, and attractive. So the teaching aids are shared by everyone. So the hub, it doesn't work as a single unit, each primary separate or middle school separate, high school separate. No, we are all one big community, all the parents, all the students. And I must say there is a positive competition sometime to prepare some nice teaching aids. And there is positive we share. There is never like a negative role played by any member of the hub. So this encourages the other members. It breaks the monotony of the class, makes the concept very clear, help the learners improve reading, comprehension skills, illustration of skills or concept. Sometimes it is not only preparing teaching aids, it is also we decide as a hub, we decide to have some games in the learning process. Now these games gives more motivation. Students are more alert. They help in problem solving, increase class cooperation, and increase the memory of the child. Now what is the outcome? The child is alert. That is, the child learns sharing. The child learns to cooperate with others. You got the child and the teachers learn to be patient, to give a hearing. You have to always hear to the other person. The child sometimes have a lot to express. So this gives a good opportunity for all of us to learn from each other. Now, what drives me to do this? Or as a hub leader, what I have seen, what struggles I have seen. In the beginning, to bring them together as a hub was little difficult because that was something new. Because they were so used to prepare the teaching aid only for their lesson. So, and then it was kept only in their school. I said, no, now we are as a hub, we have to share our resources. So if we have prepared something nice, we would share it with other schools so that the other schools would still try to improve on it. And then there is nothing like discouraging anyone. Whenever parents come, even with the smallest thing, they want to share with us. I feel parents are also a part of this and they come with very good ideas. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
And I feel that what motivates me is, just 1 minute, what motivates me is to bring about the change. As teacher, or I never say, I still continue to learn and learn from the small children, from the parents. So learning should continue and be a part of the good system and bring out the change. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Anna ma'am and Arya ma'am, for elaborating on your experiences, sharing the best practices and the strategy you use to strengthen your hub as a hub leader. So I have another question for you. So as a hub leader, what motivates you to be a hub leader? As you shared already so many things, but like what motivates you to be a hub leader? Yes, Anna ma'am, you can.
Yes. In fact, I want to use my administrative and educational experiences to train new leaders. We always need to prepare lines of leadership. That's my main concern. I love to transfer my skills and beliefs to others, to inspire them to be good teachers, so that they can face any challenges and try to use new classroom strategies. I have a growth mindset. Whenever I go to the hub school, it's not that we are finding solutions to every challenges that they're facing. That's not our job only, but we learn a lot from them. It's like learning from both the sides of the relationship. So we are learning, I'm trying to provide solutions to them, and I'm also learning at the same time, because I strongly believe that learning is a continuous process. It never ends. So we have to improve, we have to evolve, and we have to embrace change. So that's the need of the hour. Another thing I would want to say is that we want to, as a hub leader, I feel we have to bring out the greatness from others. It's like sharing our power and leadership to empower others to do their best. So if this we have done, then definitely we are reaching up to the criteria of NEP 2020, and we are equipping our children with the 21st century skills. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Maria ma'am, now you can share. Yes, sir.
Yes, I feel we should bring about a change. Mine is to give the students, the teachers, and everyone, whatever I can bring about a change and give them the best. Of course, I deal with very remote first generation learners. So we all need, as teachers, need to bring about the change. Now, what we need, what drives me is even the small change that you bring in the life of a child can be a motivation for me. I feel I have the courage and ability to learn from them. I always understand their problems and I give them due respect. For me, every student is important. So even a parent, when they come with their simple problems or simple issue, I always go out of my way to help them. And above all, to see my students doing well, that is what helps me. And I feel, but I always keep myself as a student. I believe that I am also a student. Time to learn for me technology, because it's 35 years back I started teaching, and now the system is different. So I also learned the methods of technology, and this keeps me going. And every time when my children do well, they shine. Oh, that's my happiness. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Anna ma'am and Maria ma'am, for elaborating on your experiences and reflecting on your journey and sharing the best practices with all of us. I am sure that these insights will help the audience to identify the multiple strategy to implement in their own context. Really, thank you so much, both of you. So now I would like to invite two speakers. They are ADIs, Assistant District Educational Inspector, Ms. Valsala ma'am and Ms. Gayatri ma'am. These two ADIs are closely working with primary school of their respective blocks, and ADIs in Goa plays a very crucial role in the system to supporting primary schools and the hubs also in their improvement. So to give you a little context about both of them, Valsala ma'am and Gayatri ma'am oversees around 28 to 57 schools for their respective blocks. So ma'am, Valsala ma'am and Gayatri ma'am, can you please share can you please share or speak about the role of an ADI and how have you brought about an improvement in the hubs? And similarly, what motivates you to support hubs? Yes, Valsala ma'am. Valsala ma'am, Gayatri ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm ADI of KPM Taluka. And what is the role of ADI in SSIP? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can't
But please, if
see
you
you
could
though.
switch on, yeah.
Yeah.
We can only see your
This,
video is off
SSIP.
and you're also on.
One second. It's on. Okay.
It's still off, both Valsala ma'am, Gayatri ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
now it's on.
Yeah. This SSIP help the primary schools for a systematic documentation. First point. Second, as an ADI, I had my
Ma'am, you are mute now. Gayatri ma'am.
hello.
Gayatri ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Yeah. My role is to motivate teachers and the hub leaders to build strong bonding between them, which will help them to increase the standard of education. I also guided them in scheduling their projects, visits, accompanying them to schools for SSIP visits. To extend support to hub leaders during the improvement meetings. Take the review meetings with the hub leaders and share the good practices with the others during monthly meetings. During regular visits take the review of the activities, practices like Guru Navigator, Vidyanjali, Mulyavardhan, etc. and check the records and guide and support to improve, to share the good practices done in other hubs. Also encouraging them to upload the activities, whatever they have done and regularly. Inquire with the teachers about the domain selected and standard chosen for the and see whether they are following the correct step related with the domain and standard. Also guide them to complete their domain and standard and give instruction accordingly. During monthly meeting, if needs to discuss about their activities and other things, and also if needs, we can ask Adyan Foundation people to accompany us during the meeting so that we can take their help and ask the teachers. First and foremost, as it is said by the previous two speakers, the bonding between the high schools and the primary schools should be strong, which will definitely the enrollment and the standard of education in the particular hubs. I also encourage teachers to involve more and more parents, students in various activities to take help of Adyan Foundation people to carry out the activities and also to upload the activities done by the schools so that it can be by others also. This bonding between the high schools and teachers of primary schools help them to use the expert teachers of the high schools, for example, music teachers, PE teachers, then subject experts, which help the primary schools to increase their standard, encouraged to maintain students' progress with the help of trackers. And I'm very happy to tell you that when I visit the different schools in government primary schools in Kepe Taluka, the trackers prepared by our teachers are really innovative. And even the TLM, which are prepared by them, are really to be appreciated, which we have not expected, but the hard work which they had put with the help of the parents and the people, the educated people, they have taken the help and they have prepared the TLM, which have to be appreciated by all of. Then time awareness and parents about the various activities which are conducted in the school, and are also encouraging parents to participate in various functions, and also in the development of infrastructure, whatever help they could get from the teachers, parents, students, or the other communities. That was a great help to the primary teacher. Navigator is a backbone that provides the teacher with real-time feedback on every child learning on each competency. Even that FLN mission implement with the help of Guru provides navigation ability to achieve learning outcomes for learners through relevant application with offline features. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, Gayatri ma'am, for sharing your experiences and journey with us. Now, I would like to invite Valsala ma'am to reflect on.
Good evening, everybody. I am the AD of Murmuga Taluka in the South District. To answer to the questions, what is the role of an ADI? As an ADI, the role of an ADI is to motivate the teachers and to have quality improvement in the Taluka. And through my journey, I have seen that the SSIP has established a very good quality of organizing the schools in a systematic manner. I also have a role of getting the taluka or the school teachers, because in this taluka we have nearly 5 mediums, and these 5 mediums are all the regional languages of our country, that is India. We have Kannada, Urdu, and we have Marathi, Hindi, as well as the local language, which is the Konkani. Now, to establish the quality education to these children who are all migrants, in this taluka, we are having majority students in the primary sections. They are majority they're migrant students. So develop a quality of education, and the SSIP, that is the systematic school improvement plans, have really motivated the teachers to change the method of teachings by giving them simple TLMs, that is the teaching materials which they prepare through the waste materials. It is wealth out of waste. So whatever which is going waste, the teachers prepare the TLMS so that it becomes very cheap and handy for the children to accept the teaching of the teachers. Now, besides this, my role also as an ADI has played in bringing a very qualitative improvement in education, a systematic documentations in the schools where the teachers, the primary teachers, along with the hub leaders, they have a very much well-organized relationship wherein the hub leaders, along with their teachers, try to help the primary teachers to improve in their quality teaching. I was also very much happy that my teachers could pick up Guru Navigator, which is an instrumental evaluating specimen wherein the teachers can also evaluate their teaching and also the students. They have a very good role. The Guru Navigator has a very good role in improving the quality of teachers as well as the students. Besides that, in my talukas, although we have single teachers, I have seen that the single teachers do not lose their hope and courage in their work by having the English teachers and the para teachers supporting them. So with all these arrangements in this taluka and with the help of the systematic school improvement plannings which were handed by the Adyan groups to us, has supported the teachers and the students for a better teacher relationship. Even the parents are allowed to come to the schools. They can support the teachers in helping them for arranging small activities which they know through their own mother tongues, wherein the teachers, the students are very much are in a comfortable manner for them to run. Then we have also the Vidya Pravesh, which is related to the new education policies. We have the read aloud programs, wherein the volunteers themselves, that is the teachers maybe, or maybe even the locals who are around to support the schools for a better improvement of teaching. And coming to what is the improvements through the hubs. The improvements which we have seen in through the hubs or the hub leaders, one main thing is there is a close relationship between all the cluster schools linked to the hub. And not only that, with this cluster schools linked to each other, there is improvement in the enrollments of the high schools, wherein the primary section students are directly admitted to the high schools for a higher studies. Then there have also planning activities. The activities are planned in such a way that the child also benefits, the teacher also benefits, and also the parents are involved in that. There are organized activities. Then there are also visits by the hub leaders, wherein the primary teachers which feel that nobody cares for them, feel that yes, we are also cared by others. So the high school heads are a big support to the primary teachers in the taluka. The motives of supporting, what are my motives to support the hubs is to have a better quality of education, a good link between the teachers and the students, and also a close relationship which is formed to get into improving the quality of teaching, the quality of education, that is the teaching, then the quality of behavior in the children, because the children know how to behave, they are trained in a nice manner, and there is a better co-relationship between the high schools and the teacher. Thank you very much.
It is good to hear, ma'am, that your teachers are very creative, innovative, and they are trying to cater the need of all kinds of learner. And you both are including the whatever needs of your teacher in your monthly meetings. So it is very inspiring to all of us. And thank you so much for giving us a different perspective where other officials can also support a hub structure or school complexes. Thank you so much, Gayatri ma'am and Varsala ma'am, for sharing your responses with us.
Now that we have seen how hubs are working and how ADIs are supporting the hub structure, the complex system, we can address the stake leaders who ensure the smooth functioning of overall hub system or the complex system. So Sindhu ma'am, to start with you, the first question, ma'am, for you, it would be, according to you, as an ADE, why decentralized units of governance like hubs or the complexes are useful, and what would make them even better? Ma'am, can you unmute? Yes.
Good evening to all the respected hosts and participants of Catalyzing Change Week. It is indeed my privilege to interact with you all. Today, we are emphasizing on the importance of school complexes in systematic change in Goa's educational setup. No unit can prosper in isolation. Same is applicable for schools as well. So the concept of school complex was proposed initially by Kothari Commission with the objectives to link the schools in the vicinity for qualitative improvement of constituent schools, for sharing of resources. As a school head for around 6 years, I was the head of the school complex also. We were associated with secondary schools along with 4 primary schools from the vicinity. right from minimum level attainment to health and education, health and environmental education, to interaction with the community. Objectives under 12-point program were met by successfully carrying out several activities, several participative events. The concept of collaborative learning has been stressed upon. In 2018, when Systematic School Improvement Plan was launched by Goa, by Directorate of Education, using Shala Siddhi framework by Ministry of Education, the concept of hub schools came into light. The concept of hub schools is very much in line with the concept of school complex. I was the hub school leader of 12 constituent schools, 2 hubs being associated with me. Systematic School Improvement Program, as the name suggests, bestowed an organized framework plan to meet the objectives associated with educational enrichment. It is very structural. There's identification of strengths and weaknesses, choosing of standards for improvement, hub meetings and support visits by hub leaders and mentor teachers. It serves as a platform and channel to discuss the remedial measures that we can take up. As a result of this, there has been a stronger collaboration between the school. Many pedagogical and organizational reforms have been initiated. Interaction with the stakeholders of the school have been enhanced, as most of both the ADIs and the hub school leaders stated. Interaction with community elements has also increased. Many innovative practices have been shared with the remote schools. For example, in our own hub, the concept of graffiti to aid in teaching learning process has been emphasized. Also, ours was the first hub school in Goa to introduce, first hub to introduce graffiti and digital lessons even in primary schools, which proved to be a boon during pandemic and lockdown when virtual learning and blended learning came into light. In fact, the school had proposed and practiced the new educational model during lockdown, the key points of which were taken up by NCERT. The key points were published in the NCERT calendar, and it was adopted not only from the schools from Goa, but several other schools across the country. We had effectively roped the primary schools, the SMC members, the ex-students, the village panchayat, the village library to connect with the students. As Assistant Director of Education, when I look at these decentralized hubs, I can foresee that we will be able to focus on quality education with better synergy and coherence, which is again is going to help us play a major role and help us in formation of school clusters as proposed by National Education Policy 2020. Realizing the importance of school complex or the school hubs, I feel that proper monitoring system should be proposed. Capacity building programs of the stakeholders should be organized periodically. However resourceful the hub leader might be, there should be proper training sessions for all the teachers to further enlighten and empower them. And a very important thing, we need to have a kind of sustainable management information system or database to trace every minute detail about the complex of the earth, the constitution, the strengths and weaknesses of the hub meetings being conducted, the evaluation procedure being followed, the improvement journey, and even the testimonials. We do a lot of things, but we fail to maintain records at times.
Sindhu ma'am,
yes.
Connecting question to you, as you mentioned, you were earlier a hub leader, then a vice principal, and then now the AD. So how this knowledge which you have gained has helped you in strengthening the operation of the hub structure, or how you are supporting the improvement of the schools?
Yeah, being the hub leader, as every stakeholder of the education department has stressed upon, is the interaction between the constituent schools was enhanced. There was more interaction, more sharing of resources. Earlier, it was like confined to though we were interacting, the interactions were not very frequent, not very often, as a result of which, like the schools, many of the schools were isolated. So, we could break that ice between us, that ice breaking thing was there. And as a result of which, as I already mentioned, no school, no system, in fact, can prosper in isolation. So that was the need of the hour. And this is how, we have been doing great things in the schools.
Thank you, Sindhu ma'am, for sharing your experiences with all of us. And it was interesting to hear the concept which you made, like collaborative learning, the quality about education, also your experience as a hub leader, how it helped, what kind of innovative things you did during the hub leaders time. So thank you for sharing, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So now we have DD, Deputy Director of Education, Uday sir. So the question for you, it would be the NEP visualizes the complex system. So, and it is being in the heart of the system of change. And can you describe, and you also preside the zonal meetings during the South Zone meetings. And what kind, can you describe how the zonal meetings have been enabling you to improve the hubs or the complex system? And what do you see, why do you see it as an important thing?
Good evening, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just listen the sharing of our officers or headmasters. Okay. As a zonal head or as a state level leader. Okay. I would like to say, as far as zone, I worked in zone, and this system, having the school complex or the hub. Just now, our Sindhu madam has just told how this school complex were originated here, and now we have switched over to the hub. But it is one and the same, and all the principles are one and the same. Now, basically, in this new education policy, this school complexes has given a special place because it is the heart of the system. Now, as we have discussed, we have to cater to the needs of the primary schools. High school caters to the needs of the primary school. They are the hub leaders or the complex leader. Now, as a zonal leader or at a zonal level, we frequently meet. Most probably at least 3 months we meet. We call the meetings of all the leaders. It is required because what is happening in their hubs or their school complexes is very much essential to be reviewed, to be discussed. So our different hubs are there, different hub leaders are there. In different hubs, there are different things are going on. So when we come together, we discuss the things. We share the different activities that we have conducted in the different hubs. So this is something very nice for each and everyone. If I have done something good, it is shared with the others. So they also think, I can also do this thing. So finally, our aim is what? To develop our school, all-round development of the child. In the school complex system, earlier we were having 11-point program. It was consisting of that whatever required for the development of the child was included in that. So here also, so what are the things required for the all-round development of child is taken care by this systemic improvement. SSIP, earlier every school used to do something, but it was not systematically done. But because of the this Adhyan, the Adhyan has given a proper way and guidance to our teachers, our hub leaders, how to go about properly and how to achieve our systemic improvement. When we meet during the zonal meeting, we take the reviews also. What is the work done? How far the work is done? What are the lapses? What are the problems? So once we discuss, it is helpful for everybody. And when we get together like this, everybody get the time to share the things, good things, or sometimes it may be some difficulty, bad thing also. When we express it, there are solutions at our level also. In one way, it is inspiration for all the hub leaders also, because different hub leaders are coming with a different ideas, different things. So it is inspiration. This person has done this thing. I have to also do this thing. So in one way, it is helpful to each and every hub. Now, very important thing, when we meet together at zonal level, as a zonal head, it is the duty of the zonal head to see that all these things, whatever problems are there, we have to sort out, we have to solve. Beside this, it is a requirement that is we have pet them. We have to appreciate that work, because all our teachers, headmasters, hub leaders, they are doing very good work. But somebody should be there to monitor that, to mentor that. So as a zonal head, this is my responsibility to mentor them, monitor the activity, so that all things go in a proper way. Otherwise, if there was no monitoring, one hub would have done very nice thing, other hub may be lacking. So all come on parallel way. So together we grow. This is a very good system and good concept. That is, together we grow. All our schools, primary school, maybe high school, they should grow together in a proper way. Nobody should remain behind. So that is the motive of this school complex or the hubs. And because of this, there is a great change in education system, overall change in the education system we have found. And actually, thanks to Adhyayan, because they have played very important role in making the things very simple and systematic. So that's what we are doing. And this system is very much important, and that's why it has got a place in NEP, because it is the heart and core. Because unless and until we focus on the base structure of primary schools, okay, the things will not move in a very nice way. The primary schools are the grassroots level, and teaching learning process should be better at this stage. Then only they can improve in the different angles, different ways.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the different perspective of how the frequency of the zonal meetings helps in motivating the hub leaders, also listening to their challenges and trying to resolve their challenges, sir. Thank you for your valuable thoughts also on everything which was like discussed. For example, you mentioned how the overall development of the child is very much important. So now we are like end of like all the speakers spoke, and now the floor is open for question and answer. In the interest of the time, we have just 5 minutes. So anyone wants to ask any speakers, any questions, any thoughts? So there are some question. So there is one question in the chat. Is sharing of human resources possible within the complexes? And what are some of the challenges?
Yes, definitely sharing of human resources is possible, and we have done it. As far as school hub leaders, just high school, they have a lot of resources, human resources, physical resources, mental resources. Sometimes we were deputing our teachers, suppose a maths teacher or English teacher. So these teachers were deputed in primary school to train the primary teachers. So how to go about, how to clear the concept. So it is possible, and we have done it. It is very successful.
Any other questions? I would, the questions, if you have any questions, you can share it in the chat box. We can resolve it by typing in. So I would request Sudarshan to do the closing note.
Okay, I'll do the closing note. First of all, thank you all the speaker for sharing your insights and experiences, and insights will help any of the audience and all the system leaders, school leaders to take the work forward. So as a closing remark, I'll first begin with saying that as the NEP mandates that school complexes are going to be the heart in major initiatives going forward, be it BFLN or be it be any of the school quality improvement work done across country. And Goa has already 144 hubs which are working on different parameters of improving school quality. And they have doing it effectively, as we have heard from our school leaders and system leaders as well, that how the work has been done and what are the some of the key takeaways which all of us can take. So I'll just summarize in 2-3 pointers why the work has been great and what our speaker had shared. One is making efficient use of resources is very crucial, considering when we work with government school, there are multiple challenges, time crunch and resource crunch at the max. So we have to make sure that we do efficient use of resources. Similarly, this best practices sharing is very crucial in terms of when one hub leader and when the primary schools interact with each other, how they exchange the knowledge, how those best practices get translated from hub leader to primary in charge is very crucial, and that is somewhere we create chain of best practices, and having that support mechanism to build the capacity and resolve the challenges at block level, zonal level, or at state level. And for me, all the speakers who have spoken so far are the champions of resolving challenges, and they have shown the way how the work can be done and how the systemic school improvement program can be run. Taking the examples of Goa, other state leads and system leaders can also implement the program. So we have shared the Mentimeter link in the chat box, and you can share what is the benefit of hub structure you feel and what struck you or your takeaways from today's session in 1 or 2 words. I'll request Aniket to share the link again with the code, and people please do respond. We have only 4 responses so far, so you can share your thoughts that what are your key takeaways from today's session or anything that struck you from today's session. We'll keep it open for a few more seconds and everyone can respond. I can see some of the key takeaways like collaboration is the key, effective composite schools, motivating leaders, inspiring leaders, hubs helping each other, sharing resources and doing continuous learning. I can see responses are coming in. Please keep them coming in. We'll keep it open for a few more seconds.
So Darshan, there was a comment by Valsala ma'am as well.
Yeah, school complexes help to have learning athletics, sharing of resources, encouraging students, competitiveness among the leader to make the best practices. Definitely, ma'am. And our hubs in Goa have been champion of all these practices. So thank you for sharing it. Thank you for putting it up. We have 8 responses. Should we wait for a few more responses, Tiyasha, before we wrap up the session?
We have just like another 30 seconds, so till then people can keep putting their responses in. But thank you as the responses come in. Thanks everybody who has joined us today for the call. It was great to have all of you present, all our speakers, Uday sir, Valsala ma'am, Gayatri ma'am, Anna ma'am, Maria ma'am, Sindhu ma'am. All of y'all was really, really amazing. And it's so great to hear all of you speak and learn from your experiences. Thank you, Surekha and Bhavna, for moderating the session. You're our great as always. And thanks to Darshan also for helping us out and for the closing statements as well. We have another session tomorrow where we're talking about the experiences of setting up these school complexes, how the policy looks with the national education policy looks like when we're working on ground in the context of Tripura, which is a completely different setup than as we heard about Goa today. So looking forward to seeing all of you there tomorrow, same time at 3:30. You can go on to the link on the Catalyst website and register for it. Or if one of you could actually share the link here, that'll be great. But thanks again, everybody, for joining, and see you all tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Paige, for all your help.
Excellent session.
Great, thank you. We can stop recording and close and like as